Hey everyone, it's Erin Melton back again to talk to you and really excited about our guest that we have today. It is Veronica Figueroa. Thank you so much, Veronica, for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into real estate.
Oh wow. About me. I got into real estate back in 2004, full time. I did have my license since I got my license in 2001, right out of college, because
Okay.
a friend of mine said, "Hey, we should get our real estate license. There's this thing called timeshare. If we get our real estate license, we'll be rich." And I was like, "Really?" He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I know you just graduated from college, but like, what's more? One more accreditation." He was like, "We can go work in timeshare. Everybody wants to buy timeshare in Orlando, Florida, and you would be good at it." So we go and we take the class, Aaron, and he doesn't pass it, and I do. So then I am here with this license that I got just to support a friend.
Right.
And, I put it up on a shelf and I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. 9/11 happened the next day, the very next day from when I passed my real estate license. And I was like, well, I don't think anybody's buying real estate now. So,
Right.
I just stuck to my career in human resources, which is what
Okay.
my degree was in and what I had a passion for. And I thought that's what I was going to be. I was going to be a human resources coordinator, then work my way up and then work my way up. And then I realized, wait, nobody ever retires from this job or dies. So like I'm just gonna like be told what I'm worth every year based on what corporate tells me. So in 2005, in 2004, I had a life-changing personal situation happen, which is called divorce. And I had two small children, and I remembered I had a real estate license.
Yep.
I did work in human resources in timeshare. So I
Okay.
saw all the sales reps and I
Hmm.
actually started working my way up to I caught the eye of the sales and marketing leaders of that
Okay.
company. And they were like, you would be a great liaison for our sales and marketing team because you come from human resources, you're fair, you've got the personality for it. And I
Right.
went to go work with them and I saw all these sales reps like just crushing it. And I saw the marketing team and I saw how they would, were able to just get people to come in. And I was fascinated by that. So I worked the tour desk and then I got burnt out because the times were crazy and I had small children.
Yes.
And real quick to make the long story short, I went back to human resources and I said, okay, I'll do timeshare part time because I need to supplement my income. Well,
Right.
part time, that did not work. I
Right.
realized it was not for me, but I started doing residential full time, part time, and I fell in love with it. 3 months into my real estate career as a part time residential agent, hiding underneath my desk in my corporate job,
Right.
balancing kids, balancing all this. I did really well the first few months. And I was like, what if I did this full time? What if
Hmm.
I took the time that I'm, trying to balance another career, balance everything else, and did this full time? It's about people. I've
Right.
learned enough about sales skills. I know enough about marketing. I love, just, being out there and making people's dreams happen. I could do this full time. I called my mom. She's like, are you crazy? You're going
Right.
through a divorce. You have two small children.
Right.
You have health insurance. You have a steady job. I was like, that's why this is so exciting. I was
Exactly.
like, I was like, Mom, if I could do this, and I think I told the story. I think I was going to make 11,000 or $7,000 within those first 3 months. I was like, I'm rich. I could do this.
Right.
And I was like, imagine if I do this over and over again, and I'm not dividing my time between, my job and all this
Hmm.
other stuff, and I could do this full time. And then I never looked back.
Yep.
It was 2005. I quit my job. I never looked back, and it's been a dream ever since. It's been hard,
Yep.
but it has been worth every single sacrifice and risk that I took. And I don't know, where I would be at if real estate wasn't a part of my life and my career.
I 100% understand what you're talking about there. I actually got licensed in 2001 as well, and went with it right away. Never had any intention of being in real estate and grow up and go, oh,
Yep.
what do you want to be, little girl, when you grow up? I want to be a realtor. It's like I want to be a mom. I knew that. Um, but it's like it's amazing. Most people, I'd say, do not necessarily intentionally go out there and decide that they're going to be in real estate. But it is amazing how your backgrounds, how it plays into it. I think a
Oh yeah.
mom, how much it plays into it. It's
Yeah, I look
so
at it
important.
now because of my passion for human resources and development.
Mhm.
And, I used to be the one that would do all the orientations for employees. I was the one
Right.
who helped them find the right position for them. And I was always passionate about helping people. And
Yeah.
I also have a background in hospitality. I did it in the
Oh my
hospitality
gosh.
industry, which to me, it was like, I want to see people's dreams come true and I want to see them
Yes.
smile, etc. So it did play into my career at that moment. I didn't realize it. Now that I look
Right.
back, I'm like,
Now you do. You're like, "Oh, the total prerequisites. You
yeah.
were perfect." What would you say, Veronica, is your why?
That's, I've always said, such a great question, but super loaded, right? It's like, I
Mhm.
mean, my children, I wake up every single day and my children are like older now.
Yeah.
And my parents, just everything that they sacrificed themselves for. My dad was in the military. My mom, did the best she could to raise us. She was an entrepreneur. Every military base that my dad was stationed at, she would have to pack up,
Yep.
start all over again, meet new people. And
Mhm.
she was super deliberate about making sure that she kept her culture alive everywhere we moved. And we went to places like Junction City, Kansas, Columbus, Georgia, Hinesville, Georgia, Frankfurt, Germany. There were
Yep.
not a lot of Hispanics where we went. So my mom found a niche in bringing business models that would keep the culture alive, like the products that they would have in, back in their home island or their
I
Latin
love it.
America. And she started these businesses and she started bringing music and she brought artists and she started doing concerts. And, I go back and I think of how I am. I look back on what she did and I think about how I am and how much she instilled that in me.
Oh,
And
for sure.
of course, my children are my why, but keeping my mother's legacy as to what she
Yes.
did is a huge part of my why. And
Mhm.
I hope that what we build can leave a legacy for my children and my grandchildren. And, that we just are passionate about following our purpose. And my mom didn't have to do that, but it fulfilled her. It made her
Yes.
happy. It
Mhm.
made her, she brought community together. So
Yes.
when I think of what my why is I just want to bring community together and
Mhm.
show people that they belong, that that they are important. Whatever is important to them matters.
Yes.
And that's what fuels me. And it doesn't necessarily have to benefit me. If I can help people discover something that
Mhm.
sets their soul on fire and
Yep.
makes them excited, then I feel I have fulfilled my dream of, making an impact. And it might sound corny, but it
No, it
really
doesn't.
is what lights my soul on fire. Like, go out there.
Uh-huh.
And again, people come onto my team, people start their career and they say, B, you gave me the confidence, or because of you, I was able to kind of reevaluate my business. I'm like, are you happy? And if you're happy and you realize you can go out there and make it happen, then
Yes.
I feel I played a small role in your chapter. Go dream bigger. So
I
that's just my
love
purpose.
it. I
Yeah.
love it. So talk to everyone about being the queen of teams.
Well,
What is
I don't even know how I got that name. Oh gosh, I don't even know how that leaked. But I love teams. I've built my team on pure heart and purpose. And I used to own a Remax franchise. I've owned a number
Okay.
of different offices. And one thing I knew was that I was passionate of helping people launch their careers.
Mhm.
And, we used to call ourselves home of top producers. And I could say I'm very proud of the people that I've had an opportunity to work with. We have played a role in helping people build careers and now they're top producers. And I'm so proud of them, whether they work with us, whether they don't work with us. I just am excited to
Yes.
know. I say this, two things, Erin. If you work with me, two things are going to happen. You're either going to believe that you could do anything you put your mind to, or you're
Right?
going to realize this isn't for you, because there's no in between. I don't
I
believe
like that.
in half-assing anything. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Um,
Absolutely, you're supposed to that
you
is
know, and
it.
when the team concept really started becoming popular, I was building teams before I realized I was building teams back in the
Right,
REO
right.
days. The story of me during the market crash, not knowing where the next opportunity was going to come from,
Mhm.
and having 5 small kids, and knowing that it was go bankrupt, quit, go back to corporate
Yeah.
America, or just really work hard. I took my last $5,000 and I hopped on a plane and I just banged on asset managers' doors. And I knew I needed to be able to survive any market that we were in. So I learned short sales, I learned REO, I was blacklisted because I did things wrong. I figured it out. I was building the plane while I was flying it. And when I was given an opportunity overnight to get an account, and I had to build teams across the entire state overnight. And it was like 37 assets in like at least 7 different cities that I didn't even know existed in Florida.
Right,
So
right.
I had to build a team overnight. And that's where systems, scaling, even without maybe the realizing I had the capacity to do so, I
Right.
had the ability to recruit people to buy into the vision. And I didn't
Mhm.
know I was building a team at the time. I didn't realize what I was doing.
Right.
At that time, this was 2009, 2008. Red Book had just, there was a concept, it was conceptualized, right,
Mhm.
about what a team would look like, but no one had been really mastering teams at that time. So then little by little, I started building and building and building. I started referral teams. I started, REO teams. I started an online lead gen team. And I realized how the essence of a team, people working together towards a common vision,
Yes.
is so powerful,
Yes,
right?
it is.
And if and I look at myself as like, if I could say what I want to do is I want to be the Phil Jackson of the worlds of real estate, right? If I can bring people together and put them in the same mix, and they can perform at the highest level by being inspired by someone else who's doing it, or just leading the way, and then that inspires the other person to lead the way, to really step up, and they can lead the way for someone else. It's really what I love doing, right? So when I started realizing I was onto something with teams, I realized I'm going to take my broker hat off, and I just want to be a coach. I just want to coach these teams to excellence, because I wasn't a really good broker. I didn't enjoy the broker part. I mean, I could do it, but I
Sure,
wasn't
sure.
passionate about it. So I wanted to be that person who just focused on the team. To me, there's something dynamic about teams. And then through the years, I realized, what are some of the mistakes that I made while I was building teams? What are some of the things I did really well? How has the team evolution changed over time with
Right,
technology, with, as the industry continues to go through pressure and
right.
commission compression, and what's cool, what's not cool. And I just grew really passionate about it. And talking about vulnerability and talking about how to lead a team with heart was
Yes.
another area of my life that I was like, okay, we can all have leads, we can all have splits, we can all have a brokerage license, but how can one person lead a group of people one way, and then the other person, fail miserably at it, or maybe not have traction?
Right,
I want to solve that problem for
right,
people, right? And I want them to give themselves permission to authentically lead their team with, what's their secret sauce, right? Why
yeah.
people gravitate towards them. And I get a lot of people hit me up like, V, like, how'd you build a team? You have a team of over 60, 70 people, and you got this, you're the Queen of Zillow, or this and that. And, you know, there is no true formula. I can't give you the exact playbook, but what I can tell you is I built a team with a true intention. I
Yes.
was really, really clear as to where I wanted to go, and I reversed engineered. And I knew it had to do great people. I had to do it with great people. I had to know that there were phases in my team that, were parts of the journey that are no
Yeah.
longer a part of this journey. And that's okay too, because everybody plays a role on this team to win the championship.
Yeah.
And when I got the name, the Queen of Teams, there, I'm writing a book, and we talked about, what are some of the mistakes? What are some of the things? What's the journey? Tell us a story. Because I just want people to understand that we all have a story as we're going through this, this competitive world of real estate, and you're building a team. Maybe it's just with an admin. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just with two good buyers agents. Maybe it's you're a rock star and you just have a bunch of showing assistants. Like, I have
Right.
so many amazing friends across the country who run teams differently, and we all learn from each other. We share each other's
Mhm.
playbook. So I have tons and tons of notes over the years that I've just accumulated, and just, and I've saved, because I knew that they were going to play a role, and I'm just putting them into this book. And it's called The Queen of Teams. And I laugh at myself when I hear the name. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm the Queen of Teams, whatever. But, and then also, it's a really male dominated mindset
Yes.
in leadership in real estate.
Yes.
Women, although we make up the majority of real estate in percentage, it's crazy who's like leading the pack in leadership, or in like,
Exactly.
good old boys in the coaching programs, in the coaching space, or teams that are selling I would say high performing numbers, right? When you start hearing the 300s, the 400s, the
Right.
500s, the 600s, there's a very small percentage of women, but yet we're out there, we're doing it. So I just want to show that, we've got it. We could teach the boys a couple things, and ladies, we can do this.
There you
So for
go.
me, that's where the Queen of Teams was born. And I'm excited to see where this goes. And the Queen of Teams is not about being a woman in leadership only.
Nope.
It's about you can build an empire. And
Yes.
in order to really build it, you have to do it with really great people. And if you're doing it for the right reasons and to help people, this could be something massive.
Yes.
We're all looking for freedom. We're all looking for freedom so that we can spend more time with our families, so
Mhm.
that we can spend more time taking care of ourselves and building something special. So, beyond the name, there's something really, really special there that hopefully can let people know that if I could do it, they can do it.
Absolutely. For sure. What would your adolescent self not recognize about Veronica today?
Oh God, such a great question. Oh gosh, what would I not recognize about myself? I think my adolescent self would be really proud of how far I've come with dealing with rejection. As a little girl,
Yes.
I was someone who I was obnoxious in a good way. My dad raised me to believe I could do anything. So I was the little girl that would walk into the room like, "Hey, I did a cartwheel. Let me show you my cartwheel. Like I could show you." And I was always so proud because my dad prepped me up. But then life
Mhm.
started, beating me down. People were like, "You're too much," or "You're this," or "Why are you different?" While all my friends were hanging out, I was working at my mom's shop, and I used to think that I was different, like I wasn't normal. So now I look back and I think, man, all the things that made me different, that I got rejected, that I got laughed at, that I got bullied at, today are the same things that I'm actually not praised, but like people call me and say, "Thank you." That inspires me. Your
Yes.
work ethic inspires me. I
Mhm.
remember one of my coaches, my cheerleading coach, at the time I was the captain of the JV team. And I worked at my mom's shop, and I worked at merry-go-round, and I was always so hardworking, and I don't know why, but I just was.
It was your way.
She says, you have to make a decision, Veronica, in life. And you know I think you're putting too much emphasis in work and not in your extracurricular activities. And she was like, "I really think that you're making a mistake." And I just remember all the people who told me everything that I'm actually really good at today, I shouldn't have done. And I'm glad that I didn't listen to them.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I dared to be different. But when I was younger, and this is carried on, I'm 42 years old now. Just recently, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I gave myself permission to be different. I was trying to
Oh,
fit
I
in
like
for
that.
so long because what shows up is the truth that you chose to ignore. And my coach says your future lies in your past. I had to go back and hug that 14-year-old girl and say, "You are so worthy. You are so deserving. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be non-traditional and and unconventional. Be you and be brave and be bold because that's your superpower." And I for a long time, I wanted to do things to make others feel like I should belong. And now I just embrace my uber weirdness self. I embrace how obnoxious I am, how much I love to just dare to be different. And I'm okay with that now. It took me a long time to be different, be okay with being different.
That is, I'm trying not to cry because it's
Aw.
so God, that's so okay. Woo.
Thank you.
How does being part of EXP and the Honey Badger Nation make you feel?
Oh gosh, it kind of ties into what I just said, right? Honey badgers.
It
If you
sure
don't know
does.
why we're called the honey badgers, look it up. Look
Yeah.
at the video. And that's why I knew when I met this family. Look, I'm getting chills. I
I
knew
know.
I had found my tribe. From the kinship that we have from everyone in the group, the heart, the grit, the acceptance, the community, the people that just push you to be bigger, better, and in life and personal, the friendships that have developed. Oh, by the way, did I even talk about real estate in that? I mean, like my real estate business has grown simply by proximity
Yes.
because of the things that I'm learning from people who, maybe have lived before me. They've done it before me. They've
Yes.
sold 3,000 homes before.
Mhm.
They've opened a coaching program. They've written books. They've, taken an agent from 0 to 100. They've helped people grow. And meanwhile, I was just thinking one dimensional in
Mhm.
my little box before. Now I just have, 5,000 plus brothers and sisters that I can go to and literally ask for help. Not to say I couldn't do that in the old company that I was, but it's a different feeling and you
It's
won't
a
experience
it's a
it
very different feeling.
till you're in there.
You
And
just can't understand it.
yeah, and you know what? For a long time, Erin, I was the one expected to have all the answers. I was the one expected to be the
Yes.
smartest person in the room,
Yes.
and my soul was sad. It
Yes.
was it was thirsty for community. It was thirsty for support, leadership. I needed to let people know this shit is hard sometimes.
Yes.
And in my Honey Badgers Nation family, which includes you, I feel like I have just like a support group that is so important to me.
Yes.
And, they have taught me to dream bigger. I just bought my mom a house in Puerto Rico. I
I
was just
love
in Puerto
it.
Rico
That's
last
amazing.
night. I flew in this morning, by the way. I flew in this morning, woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. My husband and I bought a second home in Puerto Rico as well in Palmas del Mar, and which we're super excited of. And I get to see people like Brent Gove, Gene Frederick, and people just continue to lead the way. And they say, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Anything is possible. And it's just like limitless, belief system. And I love it. And that's the tribe I needed in my life.
Yes. You are so right. That whole, having to have everything figured out on your own and being so used to that is totally a female thing, particularly certain sort of females, that it's like you have to have everything together. 10 times prepared to get ready to go do something, and then all of a sudden it's like having that support and knowing it's there and you're not going to be judged or thought, oh, we knew it was just, oh, that's cute, honey. How long you been doing this?
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy. So I've always done things, like I said, you've kind of already heard a little bit of the backstory. I've taken
mhm.
a lot of industry heat, love them or hate them. I sit on Zillow's advisory board. I was the one who helped launch iBuyers and, just dissecting the business. So a lot of people hear this bubbly, big personality, but what they don't know is like, I'm so obsessed with the science of real estate, the art and the science of real estate. So for me, being different was always, part of my DNA. And even with the decisions I've made in my business, and when I chose to come even to EXP, that was a whole nother calculated decision that I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to be true to myself. This is where I want to be,
Yeah.
and would this company accept me with some of the decisions that I've made of partnering with, big conglomerates and doing all these things that would scale our team. And what I love is that EXP allowed me to be me. They
Yes.
allowed me to do business the way I do business,
Mhm.
and they accepted me for who I was, because the other option was go indie. And then I felt like I was just going to be on an island alone again. And I
Yeah.
didn't want that.
Mhm.
So, EXP has done more than just, help my real estate career. It's really helped me find a place that I consider home. And I've made some of the best friends that a girl could ask for through this network. So I'm just excited, and I'm excited to be here with you.
I know. Well, I can't thank you enough, particularly with just flying in, getting up at 4 AM. I just can't thank you enough for coming and doing this with us. So I can't wait to actually meet you. And I know that everyone is going to get a lot out of this podcast for sure.
Oh, well, thank you for having me anytime. I look forward to doing it again.
Great. Thank you again.
Bye.
Bye.